I know this news is about a week old at this point, but if this means making a video about it, then so be it. So as we all know by now, The Inhumans was originally going to be a movie, but is now getting turned into a TV series instead, which will be aired on ABC with 8 episodes and will have a helping hand with IMAX. Not to mention, the first 2 episodes of The Inhumans will be aired in IMAX theatres, which is slated to be aired this September. And as of this recording, no actors have been confirmed for any of the characters. However, we've got some details on each character that will be in The Inhumans. And I'm not gonna lie, my Inhumans knowledge is rather limited, so I'm not gonna be judging any of the characters by how accurate they are to the comics or what have you. Now first of all, we have Black Bolt, who is described as a character who has a huge presence without even using his voice. Black Bolt is also the king of his people, who doesn't feel like he needs to answer to everyone, which kinda leads to his arrogance. Now that to me makes the most sense in the world, as Black Bolt is the king of his own people in the comics. Not to mention, using his voice is very devastating and could do a lot of destruction, so him staying quiet makes the most sense in the world. Up next we get to Medusa, who is the queen of the Inhumans and is the wife of Black Bolt. However, she kinda struggles with that relationship as her people see her as just a pretty face and an advisor to Black Bolt. But despite how many people think of Medusa, she is very strong and smart and will be willing to break the rules whenever is necessary. Now Medusa in the comics, as far as I'm aware, has only been used as an advisor for Black Bolt, but in recent memory people have been trying to add more to this character, and I think this is the best angle to take this character in the Inhumans TV series. Up next we have Maximus the Mad, who I believe is gonna turn out to be the main villain of the series. Maximus is described as Black Bolt's younger brother, who is charming and intelligent, who is also seen as the man of the people, however secretly craves power and would do anything to gain such power. Although he does sound like the Inhumans equivalent of Loki, Maximus does seem like a rather intelligent character in the comics, so I'm all for this. Next we get to Karnak, who is described as a character who always has a plan and always uses his mind as his greatest weapon. Karnak is also described as a character who sees life in a rather different light, as he sees it in a more grim way, however still maintains his dry sense of humour. Now from what I know in the comics, Karnak is always a character who uses his mind to exploit other characters' weaknesses, so I guess this works here. Now we get to Gorgon, who is described as a character who is rather brash and has anger management issues of sorts. Gorgon is also described as a character who is very reckless, which leads to him getting in trouble when it comes down to booze, babes, or getting into many fights. Whenever I see Gorgon in the comics or in any other adaptation, I normally see him as a sort of Thor type character, who is somewhat reckless but at the same time has some sort of warrior moral code. But you know what, it's the MCU, they always change their characters, so I guess this could actually work. Now we have Crystal, who is described as the younger sister of Medusa and is also the youngest member of the Inhumans royal family. She is also described as a character who, although is loyal to her family, she is somewhat of a rebel and is still trying to learn the meaning of life. Now from what I know in the comics, Crystal is always seen as a naive member of the Inhumans family, so I guess this actually works in her character. This is also led to believe that Crystal is going to be one of the main characters and is the one that we mostly follow, as we learn more from the Inhumans mythos with Crystal. And finally we get to Triton, who is a character who is depicted as the embodiment of cool, as well as being heavily CGI'd. Triton is also depicted as a character who is always calm under pressure and is also very athletic. Now Triton is the only character from the roster who isn't even a series regular, or at the very least isn't labelled as such. And considering how Triton is meant to be heavily CG'd, that makes quite a lot of sense in my mind. And although there's only 8 episodes in this series, there could be some leeways about this, and maybe Triton is a series regular, but we'll have to wait and see. Now what's interesting to me is the fact that there's no Lockjaw on the list, as Lockjaw is also a crucial member of the royal family. But then again, this could be due to the fact that Lockjaw might be a fully CG character. Or maybe this could be due to them saving Lockjaw for a potential Kamala Khan series that has been heavily rumoured for quite some time now. And with all the character descriptions, I think this is going to be a very solid adaptation of the Inhumans, and I can't wait to see this series. So are you excited to see the Inhumans on the small screen, and which characters are you most excited to see? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, take care and have a good one.